This video is going to be again on transactional analysis, yet another interesting one about drivers. So this drivers, what I'm going to talk about is these personality patterns, like you could definitely see in yourself when you are actually doing your everyday activities, and you'll be surprised to know that you may have one or two drivers among five drivers I'm going to discuss with you today. And you'll be surprised that these are the things which are in your subconscious realm, which is actually pushing you to behave in a way and think in a way and feel in a way every day. It's like a part of your personality. And as usual, as per the transaction analysis, all these patterns you've learned nothing but from your childhood only. So how the way parents have instructed you as a child, from these instructions as a child we would have learned this and set it as a rules, and then we think that we are only okay as long as we follow these rules. And the moment you step out of this and not able to follow the program drivers, you will feel like you're not your original self and feel very uncomfortable. That's why we find it very difficult to come out of our usual personality patterns. But by seeing this video, you'll be understanding that you may have one of these drivers. This awareness itself will give you ideas about how to come out of it by challenging it and exploring it in more depth. So let me go to the drivers first. The first driver I'm going to talk about is please others. So that means these people who have these drivers as the dominant driver would actually involve in activities where they'll go out of the way to help another person to please them. And they just do things, out of the way. Like, actually they take a lot of hard work in order only to please other people. So they even don't value themselves, okay? So by what I mean by pleasing others is they won't even please themselves. They just put others' needs own in compared to their own needs. So what would happen eventually is you could relate to these kind of please others category to passive in communication style. So what happens is, in the long run, when these people keep on trying to please another person, they feel like they start feeling this resentment because others don't look after them in the way they are trying to please another person. So they start blaming another person, see how much I've done for them or her, but she's not doing anything for me. But the first case, nobody asked you to do that they don't realize. And these people are generally called as a very kind-hearted person, very loving persons in their fraternity, like in their family or work. And they are the ones who come forward to help you all the time. They are like, cheesy people to move with. But then they feel like, they are like a victim and people are misusing them. But please take a look at your own self and ask yourself who is going to do this at the first place. Actually, you are the one who is putting yourself in this position to help another person, and later feel blameworthy and resentful, blaming and resentful also. So you need to think whether you have this pattern in you. Maybe this is one of your primary drivers and try to get over it. So we'll go to the next driver, that is be perfect. So be perfect driver. This is about people who are like perfectionists. They are really afraid about failures and small mistakes also. They want everything to be so perfect. And they also expect the same thing from others also, especially in corporates and all. To work under these kind of people, it's very overwhelming and difficult, because perfect managers expect everything in a way they wanted them to do, in a way like they do it. So it's very difficult for the subordinates to work under this kind of people with this as a dominant driver. So these are people are the ones who are told in childhood, like, they have to do the things in a right way, and you can't just be normal, you have to be perfect. So these people, ask yourself if you have this kind of drivers within yourself, and when you feel like you're going to not give that kind of perfect report or finish things with perfection, you may feel really uneasy or uncomfortable, and you want that perfection, and you can't put yourself into any kind of failures. So this is one of the important primary drivers some people may have. This can also shape up their personality, and just see if you have this driver in yourself. We'll go to the next driver, that is hurry up. By the term hurry up itself, they are always in action. So they want to do things fast, they will eat fast, they'll hurry up, and also the same thing they do for other people also. They expect all the people to be on time, and they're always on the move. They cannot relax. If they're like sitting for 5 minutes, they'll think that they're doing some sin. Oh, I'm sitting and relaxing now, I should be doing something now. Let me hurry up, let me do that. So they can't be idle at all. So if this sounds like you, probably you have hurry up as one of your driver, and please be aware of this. And I'll tell you very shortly about what you can do about all these drivers. Actually, these drivers are supposed to be helpful for the children, and they were directing their actions in their childhood, but as you grow up, it is not very much needed, and this particular drivers within you will cause a lot of stress also, especially when you're stressed. These drivers doesn't work well. They give you they give you a lot of problems like anxiety, stress, which are building up when you are going to follow these primary drivers in your life. Okay, let's go to the next driver, that is work hard, try hard. So these people always keep trying hard. They do it in a hard way. They do a lot of hard work. But what happens eventually is when they keep trying hard, they lose interest and they just leave the work halfway and start something else. They don't finish what they start because they do it in a very hard fashion, and they do a lot of things which brings pain to them. They do everything in a very hard way. But these people are never going to achieve what they really wanted. So what happens to them is they are like feeling more unsuccessful. They feel themselves like a failure. So ask yourself, if you have this driver in you, like you always try hard and feel like the world has been very bad to me, I'm not able to achieve anything, and despite my hard work I'm not able to get success. If this sounds like you, then probably you have this driver. And the last driver is be strong. So generally men are having this driver more than women, I would say, because in the way we are brought up in a culturally, especially in India culture, we are told not to express our emotions. So people with this be strong driver do not express their feelings. Okay, they always tend to be very strong. They attend in fact to the needs of another person always, but they don't just attend to their needs, or they don't feel like expressing their emotions to others. So they also feel very negative because they feel like they've never been understood. So they always tend to remain strong and don't ever express their feelings. So this is again yet another driver. So now that I've explained all the 5 drivers, if you find yourself to be having any 1 or 2 as your dominant driver, this is the time you need to reprogram and rewire your neurons, because this is how you've been functioning like a robot right from your childhood for various reasons. Okay, whatever you learn from your parents as a child, as an instruction or as a rule, which became so rigid, and you start to get more dictated by this kind of 5 drivers, which has been like driving you crazy, especially during times of stress, and which can bring a lot of emotional issues, relationship problems, and also it can come as a path of the success also, which can make you to eventually fail. So it's very, very important that you break free from these drivers. And I'm not saying like you shouldn't be successful or you shouldn't be strong. All these are wonderful characters in you, but make sure this does not bring any disastrous consequences or negative things in your life. So now that you've been aware of these kind of 5 drivers, the next step is to actually overcome these drivers which have been like subconsciously affecting you, because I told this can have a lot of negative consequences, especially when you're stressed, and it can increase your levels of stress and anxiety also. So please look forward to the next video where I'm going to talk about the antidotes to all these 5 drivers. So stay tuned, and please do subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet. And if you find this videos useful, please do share it to your friends. So have a very nice day. Take care. Bye.